Hello guys, and today you're watching the Shopping Shop, and today we'll be doing a tour at the Ridgmar Mall in Fort Worth, Texas. It opened in 1976, and it is currently owned by GK Development. This mall contains a JCPenney's, a Dillard's Clearance, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and they also have a rave cinema theater. They used to have 3 other stores. They used to have a Sears, a Neiman Marcus, and a Macy's, but all 3 of those have closed down in recent years. There's 80 stores inside the mall, and there's 6 acres, and there's 2 floors in the mall. Now, on our left there, that weird looking, funky looking building there, that used to be a tattoo parlor. That store recently opened up. It's now a dollar jewelry store. Nothing very special over there. That Mango Master used to been a smoothie shop, a smoothie restaurant, but it became Mango Master. Lunar Golf used to been a former Deb store, and then it became Lunar Golf. And right next to Lunar Golf, that building on the left of Lunar Golf, was a former Austin 5, but they have moved to a much more busier part of the mall. Here's this store here. They recently uncovered the curtains there. Don't know what kind of store that was back then. There's Dillard's Clearance, as you can see. It has their sticker on their clearance. The first floor is closed in the Dillard's Clearance. And there's Lunar Golf and the former Austin 5 store right next to Lunar Golf. The 2 stores that are on my left, I have no idea what they were. They were closed for a long time. But this one was curtained up, so I couldn't take a look in there. This one kind of looked like I guess another dollar jewelry store, or it kind of looked like a restaurant. Don't really know. And here's the Dillard's Clearance in Fort Worth, Texas, savings on brands you love. Unfortunately, their first floor is closed, so you can't take a peek inside. They have that curtained off. Let's take a closer look at this empty store that we passed by just previously, and get a better in-depth look and see what they have. Kind of looks like a former clothing store. Nothing special now because it's closed down. Here's the Dillard's Clearance, and now let's take a peek up in the second floor. We'll get back to the first floor a little bit later. Awesome sunroof there, kind of represents the sky. You can tell this place is kind of outdated. It has a bunch of columns. It kind of reminds you of the Caesar Palace in Las Vegas, with those columns like this. Here's 0 to 60. It used to have been another store. I think that 0 to 60 used to have been a haircut salon. Payless Shoe Source, and that guy that's working on that little building right there in that room, that used to have been a former Things to Remember store, and they shut that down very recently. They have the Arias over there. They were actually they had it shut down for a little bit to do some renovations, and they are back open again. The Dollar General Comics that we're passing by right now, that used to have been a former Radio Shack, and when Radio Shack closed their doors, that became a comic store. Now here is the empty Sears, and an empty jewelry store, and an empty Vitamin World store. Here's their food court. Really digging their food court over here. They have Sonic, FC Grill, Chick-fil-A, Taco Maya, Marcus Jewelers, and behind me the K Jeweler. Once again, they are showing off their artificial blue skies. They have a Villa Pizzeria, There's a Mango Master opening over here soon, and they also have a Subway and a Sonic. And they used to have a Chili's there, but that Chili's shut down. Here's their play arena, where they used to show off their basketball news. Unfortunately, they don't show that anymore. Here's the JCPenney's and a Buckles. And there's their K Jewelers, followed by a couple of sunroofs on the top. This mall has a lot of sunroofs and brings in a lot of light. That's what I like about this mall. This store here, don't know what kind of store that was. It looks like a self and repair store. Nothing very special now because it's closed. There's the Austin 5 that they moved. Earthbound. This is more of the busier section of the mall. They have a Buckle. They have a K Jewelers. Now here's JCPenney's a little closer, and below the JCPenney's is a really big fountain. Really big, but not a lot of artwork or design. Kind of looks very plain. The only thing that looks very interesting in this fountain is the shape, how it kind of looks like a half guitar, half wrench. And it had the bridge here. They got some turtles, but they don't squirt water anymore. Here's the former Macy's. That's a former Helzberg Diamond jewelry store. That closed down. There's the H&M. And there is a spa parlor. And a really nice sunroof too. A lot of light shining in through their sunroofs. Now, here is their hot fashion. That actually has been a J&J, kind of like a mom and pop clothing store. There's Earthbound, followed by the Austin 5. And followed by the Austin 5 is a Victoria's Secret. And in the distance, over at that empty store that's straight ahead on the left, was a former Zales jewelry store. So this mall had a lot of jewelry around. It still has quite a bit of jewelry, but they're just more smaller mom and pop stores. Here's our H&M on the right, and inside this abandoned store, looks like a former clothing store. Can't really tell what it looks like, but it looks really cool in there. And as we continue on, we have a perfume store on the left. We're passing by right now. There is the former Macy's straight ahead, and the former Helzberg Diamond straight ahead. And they call this mall Town Square. Here we are again at the Macy's, because there was this weird looking store. They did a very bad job curtaining and blocking it off, but it kind of looked like a former hair salon. And it looks very old in there. It looks like they have some water damage. As you can see, that roof is crackling apart the ceiling. And here is the former Helzberg Diamond area that is now empty. And let's take a look and see what's inside the Helzberg Diamond. Looks like kind of looks like a regular diamond store, just everything's all empty. I don't know what that little small room was for. I guess that's a room for special kind of jewelry that people could buy. And there is just some extra wires exposed. Here's the H&M men's section. Now this is where we start going into the dead part of the mall. This is coming toward the Neiman Marcus wing. And so there's our H&M, and another vacant store on my right, and another vacant store on my left. That's the Susan G. Komen area. I guess that's where they. It's a fulfillment center. Looks like there's some Christmas decorations inside that room, that vacant room. There's the Susan G. Komen area, and if you take those escalators down, you'll be going to the Rave Cinema movie theater. Now here is the former Neiman Marcus wing here. As you can see, it's pretty dead, and it looks like it has some major water damage. I'll take a look inside this store here. It looks like a former DVD store. Just the way those shelves look like DVD case holders. And this is the dead part of the mall here. Got some water damage, as you can see on the ceiling. Very quiet area. A very huge sunroof though, and I'm going to zoom in a little closer, showing the damage done on the ceiling. It's pretty, looks like it needs a lot of repair. Just looking at that massive column just shows how big this mall was and how many people were coming into this mall. Now this mall is just an empty shell of itself. Still have its Sears sign, and some of the parts of the mall got rid of their Sears logos, but that one in particular hasn't been erased. I heard news that the former Neiman Marcus wing is going to be one of the first phases for the new Ridgmar Mall, that they're going to be tearing this part down to make their new outdoor type mall. Those plants on the ledges there look healthy, and they look real. Funny to see that lonely sign hanging in the mall. Welcome mall walkers, do a little window shopping, bring a friend, and browse store windows while walking in the mall. Yeah, that's the typical image you would see in a dying mall. I know I was already downstairs, but I just want to show you that on the Neiman Marcus and the Dillard side, they have artificial stairs you could use. So if you want to be the cool hipster and not take the escalators or the elevator, you could just take these old-fashioned stairs. Now there's this party room that's called Kids Party Central. I don't know if this store or room is occupied. It was closed, but I never seen anyone going in it. I don't know if that they just want to make it look like there's someone here, and so people don't do any vandalisms. But if you have a kid, bring your kid and reserve for a party. And there is the first floor of the Neiman Marcus. You could barely see that label scar, but it says Neiman Marcus right on there. The Neiman Marcus and the Ridgmar Mall moved to Clear Fork Plaza, I believe, and that is a new outdoor shopping mall that's a little bit further down into the Fort Worth area. Now, a little bit further away from the Neiman Marcus wing, we have an Epic Salon, and down there is a movie theater, a Candy World, and behind these walls here are former stores. I believe one was a former Lane Bryant. There's Lens Crafters, and here is a former, what I thought was a Banana Republic, but it's actually a former John L. Ashe store. And there's the Neiman Marcus side. And there's the Candy World, of course. Now, there's their merry-go-round. It's Avenger style, but the funniest thing is it sings a bunch of nursery rhymes. Here, take a look at this. Just listening to that song really gives memories back when I was really young. Anyways, so they have a really nice sunroof again on the first floor. It's a good thing the sunroof shines down the first and second floor. There is an empty store there, and let's take a closer look inside the Macy's that is now vacant. They have a cuisine art. I guess down on the first floor was their kitchen section, kitchen appliances and pots and pans. Now I found this Sweet Amanda's candy dispenser, and I'll tell you, the candy in there looks really old. Like they haven't changed it out for at least 3 years. It looks expired. It looks really old looking. Doesn't look very tasty, and it's still hanging out here. Look how old that sour patches or whatever, the sour pluckers or something. They're white, like old white. Now here is the shoe department encore, and a finish line, and the children's play area is on my right. They call it the Kids Club, and here is a body piercing station on my right, and there's a children's place where they offer children clothes. Also on my left is a iWireless cell phone accessory store. It used to have been a former Build-A-Bear workshop, which then closed down and became a pro t-shirt, baseball t-shirt store. And there's Bath and Body Works with the white barn candles next to it. This weird contraption here looks like one of those bouncy things that you be on, that they harness you on, and you get to bounce and do some weird flips and stuff. This is more in the bizarre part of the mall, the children's play area, and they have a train station there too. Here is the J.C. Penney's on the first floor. There's the Bath and Body Works store, and as we continue on, there is a Champ store in front of us. Now, continuing down the store, or down the mall, where there's a Foot Locker here, there's the Old Navy. The empty store on my left was a former iWireless store, but they closed it down. It also kind of looked like a former jewelry store before it became iWireless. Don't know what kind of jewelry store it was, but I believe it kind of looked like a jewelry store the way it looked like it. There's the Old Navy. GNC is on the left. The Needle Magic embroidery store is on my left too. And Old Navy looks like it's too busy. There's a couple of people going inside the Old Navy store. There is a Totally Chi Reflexology massage parlor store there. And there's Titan Toys on my right. They have a bunch of bootleg toys in there. And on my left, that TWI store, that was a former Sprint store, and I think even before it became a Sprint store or something else. There's American Eagle on my right that we just passed, and a Champ store on my left. And if we continue on further, they would have a Sequest. As you can see, there's some pictures on the wall advertising their Sequest store. It wasn't really a store, it's more of an attraction. We're back at the top of the mall again. I just want to get a better look at the playground. That was the former Zell store we just looked at just not long ago. There's the Marcus Jewelry, and there's Justice. Here's the Dallas Cowboys store here, and then there's that Zell store again. And it continues. And there is the roofs here. Pretty well lit mall, especially around the playing area. And here is the playing area itself. It looks like they refurbished or something, but then again it kind of looks old. There's that weird strange contraption thing. And we get a little bit further down to the play area. There's Victoria's Secret, H&M. There's the Zells and Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop. And there is a weird contraption again, and an Auntie Anne's. Now we're back up on the second floor of the Sears wing, the former Sears wing, and there is 3 stores that are closed off. They have shut down. The one that's by Buckle used to have been a Greek-Italian leather store. And here is that movie theater or store that is advertising about movies and all that. Let's take a closer look again and see what it is. Looks like the same store that we looked at it already. Now here is the Rave Motion Theater area, and here's the Ridgmar Mall advertising their sales right here. Visit us at www.richmar.com. And here's the fountain in their mall. Looks like it's not working. There is some parts still working on it though, but the main parts are not working. And the roof, the Rave Motion Theater used to actually be a Montgomery ward. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more content, and press that bell icon to get notifications. Have a good day.